Hello and happy Christmas from Beard Clipper. I really hope you enjoy this video. It's a bit of a random one. I have been putting some stuff in frames recently. These cheap frames you get from the dollar store or whatever. And I had to take the back off of them. And so I've got 3 of these sat on my bench, and I've just looked at them and thought that would make a really cool, fun thing for Christmas Day. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you through the process. Maybe this will inspire you to do something similar and have a little fun with your family on Christmas Day. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you like this video. And if you don't want to comment, that's absolutely cool. I just really appreciate you watching it. And yeah, let's get to this craft. So here we are. We've got these, which are actually the stands, if you want to have the picture stood up on your bench, but these are desk. These are the ones I've been wanting to hang on the wall. So what I've done is I've torn these off, because if you leave them on the back then it doesn't hang flush and it's a bit annoying. And on 2 of them the little bit of metal stayed, and on the one of them it didn't, so I will pull those off. You just need some pliers. They're a bit sharp. This isn't actually a cut from that, or from something else. But just get some pliers. They're just glued on, so they do actually peel off nicely. But I've got this one here, which it came off on its own accord, and I was staring at them. I thought they look like ties, like the ties you wear on suits. And so what I've thought I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap them. I've got this shiny gold paper, and I'm going to get some Christmas wrapping paper as well, for a different wrapping paper for each of these. I'm going to wrap them up and put a little kind of like string on them, and then they can be funny little kind of like Christmas ties for us to wear while we're unwrapping our presents. I think Rosie will love it. I won't mind wearing it, and I'm sure that Angela will get into the spirit of it as well. So what I need to do, I need to decide. So I'm going to do it so that the front is going to be, so the back is going to have that. And the thing that I need to decide is how or what material I'm going to use for the neck part, the necktie part. So yeah, I'm going to gather together the other 2 bits of wrapping paper, get the material I'm going to use for the strap, for the tie part, for around the neck part, and then I'll bring you back and show you how I'm going to put them together. Right, so I've got 2 strips of wrapping paper, just some little offcuts, and I'm actually debating whether I'll get a 3rd one, because I do actually have a 3rd roll downstairs, so I'll go and get that in a minute. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these on. Now this is the side that I want to be the front, so I'm going to glue the front on first. And it's going to be easiest on this one, because I don't really care where it sits in where it sits on the actual. Actually, maybe I do. Maybe I want to have it so that it's over, so that the Merry Christmas is there. So what I'm going to do to do that is I'm going to put a light coat of PVA over this, and it is just MDF, so it will glue down very nicely. So just cover the whole thing in a very thin coat of MDF, and then carefully position it so the Merry Christmas is going to be included, and then realise that I haven't brought my weights over, so then weight it down. I'll go and get some weights in a second and let that dry, and then once that's dried, what I'll do is I will then fold it over, and I will attach the tying material. Now I found some of this ribbon which I think might work quite nicely, but that's only enough for 2, so I need to find something else for my one probably. So yeah, I will get this weighted down, and then I'll do the same with the other one. As you can see, I'm obviously going to want to have that so that it's readable and visible in the right way up. And once that's dried, I'll bring you back and show you how I'm going to do the folding around the back, and how I'm going to actually attach the material to this. So yeah, this is going exactly how I hoped. I'm really enjoying this. Alright, so I've just gone and looked for some old rags. These are clothes that have been thrown away. And I found this, and it's got this really nice patterned kind of like, it's actually for the arm hole, and I think Rosie's head will fit through that. So hopefully, anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out. So I'm just going to start that off, and I've got these super sharp scissors that are brilliant for this sort of thing. Some of the first hobby tools I ever bought these. And I'm going to carefully cut this out around the edge, doing my best not to do what I just did. Try not to go too close, so I don't want it to fall apart.
so that's probably where I'll have to do the gluing. So yeah, just trying to keep about 3 or 4 mil away from the edge of the tap pattern. So I'll get that cut out now, and then that will be glued on to the wood. And then as I stick each and fold each layer of wrapping paper over, it will add a little bit more glue and a little bit more support to this, and that's the plan. Now the reason why I'm doing this is I do have this little thing of ribbon, but I don't think it's actually going to be long enough to cut and provide the enough what's hard there? Oh, that was the seam. It's not going to be long enough to cut in half and make a necktie for 2 people. So I'll use that on one. I'll do this on the one for Rosie, and I might try to cut out the other around the neck of this, which is going to be too long, cut that in half and then glue that in and have that as the third one. So anyway, I will finish cutting this out, and she's nearly done actually, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do the gluing. The first gluing has worked really well, so hopefully this is going to turn out nicely. I told the girls last night I had a surprise for them, and I'm going to give these out on Christmas morning, just as a funny little thing for us to wear. It's all about having a laugh, isn't it? So there we are. So we've got that cut out. So I am going to let Rosie have the ho ho ho, because I think she will love that one. So that one's going to be Rosie's. So what we're going to do is at the top, I'll find the place where I went a little bit close. There it is. I'm going to glue that basically to the top there. So I'm going to put some PVA. I've got everything to hand here. I love it. So we'll do that. Oh. Put some PVA over there. And I'm not going to put a weight down on top. Actually on top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a weight down on either side. So I'll just use these ones that I've got to hand for now. So put a weight there, stretch it a bit, put a weight there, and press that in. Make sure that gets a good amount of PVA on there. And that will now, over the next hour or so, that will all go off, and that should be quite a secure bond. And then when I fold this over and fold this over, I can make a little cut, and that will then have paper over the top of it, and that will also secure it in place a little bit better. So I'm going to see whether I can make use of all of these, for another one. Whether I can cut out around the neck, like I say, it's quite large. So this is a baggy top, so I can cut around the neck of that and glue that in place, and I will then also probably glue this in place. I think this one will be mine, so I'll just get a roughly the right length. I want to have it so you can just basically drop it over your head, so I'll cut that to length and glue that in place in the same way, PVA, weight it down and leave it for a couple of hours, and I'll bring it back when I get to the next step, which is going to be doing the folding and final securing. So this is actually nearly done, which is really cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to actually wrap these up. So here's one I've just done, just a quick test, and it worked how I hoped it would, and I'll show you how I did it. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue that down over the top and weight it, and then when that's done I will then be able to glue everything else on and do the trimming. But the way that I did this, very simply, and hopefully this will be visible, so let me just zoom down on this one. This is Rosie's one, so I need to get this right. So what we've got is underneath here we've got that little block of wood that from the picture, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my safety ruler and get it up to the corner, as close to the corner as I can get it, and then gonna make sure that's going back, that's going across, there's the corner, and then use a very sharp knife just to slice very carefully, and then I'll find the other corner. This one's easier because I can press the ruler up against the flat, makes it a little bit easier, and then slice that. And now I've done that, if we turn this over, two things. You can see that my material is glued very well, and secondly we can see that that is going to be able to fold down over the top and glue nicely. So I'll just get some PVA glue, set that on, weight it down, and then I'll bring you back for the next step. I'll do the third one off camera, which is just over here. I'll get these all glued down in the same way. I'll bring you back for the next step when we get to it. Alright, well that tab down worked well, and I've just worked out the next step that I'm going to do. So I'll show you how I've done this, and then I'll demonstrate it on the other one. So what I've done is I've just cut a little tab around on each side here around where the necktie goes, and then folded it over so that it goes over the top. And then at the bottom I've folded that corner up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it in place like that and let that set, and then I'll be able to do the last bit, and then we'll be finished and I'll be able to wrap this up. So let me quickly show you how I've done that on this one. Hopefully I can do this and you'll be able to see. Wait for that to focus. There we are. So basically take a very sharp knife. This is a nice new blade in my hobby knife, and cut out. And actually you're looking to cut quite a long way around it. So go from the corner and cut around it like that. Hopefully I've gone wide enough. There we are. And then with that done, you should be able to pull the necktie round, and you can see that I've now got the necktie on the outside, and when I fold this over, it goes over the top and covers it. Now the other thing that I'm doing is, again, using a safety ruler. Always use a safety ruler. I'm cutting the tab down parallel to the side of the shape, so that when I fold it over, it goes to about halfway, maybe just a bit less than halfway, doesn't matter really. Just make it a bit easier going forwards when we're coming to glue it next. So when we fold that over, that now does this. And what I can now do, this is where being good at wrapping presents helps, and I'm not. What I can now do is fold that up, and that's that. So what I'll do is I'll get my glue, I'll glue that down, weight it down, leave it for a little while, and then do exactly the same thing on the other side, fold it over, trim it all down, and we'll be done. So I'll get that glued and show you what it looks like when it's done, and show you the final step. Yeah, this has been really fun. I'm really pleased I did this. I know I keep saying that, but I'm having a lot of fun with this. Right then, the final step. And as you can see, this one's mine, and I've just done a test, and that is looking brilliant. I've even tried it on. It looks great. So I'll show you how I've done that. So it's relatively simple actually. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to fold this up here and make it so that we have that bottom nice and straight. And then using my pencil, what I'm going to do, and a ruler, I'm actually going to mark on where I want to cut. So draw a line on that. There we are. So that's where we're going to cut after we've done our folding. And after that, what we want to do is get this fold done. And get that as tight as we can. Now the problem is going to be that is quite a thick bit of it's easier actually with this thinner material to bend it, to fold it, but as long as we can get it roughly okay, and then continue our line for where we want to cut. There we are. So what we'll do now is get our safety ruler and cut along those lines that we've just marked. So which will then mean that we've got our folds in. And then we'll need to trim the top off. This one, there's quite a lot of paper on this one. I did it a little bit differently. 1 second, I'm going to have to come back. I'm back, just had a bit of a request, so I'll keep cutting this. Get that out of the way. There we are. So what we're left with now, once we've cut this top bit off here, we should be able to fold this into place. Now I will need to do the same cut around thing that I did on the other side, so that we can get past this, past the cloth, the tie section. So we'll cut around that, like that. But now when we fold this up, and bring that through, hopefully without tearing, there we are, did it. So fold it up, fold that up, and that now is perfect. And what we'll be able to do is glue that down, which I'll do, and the final thing I'm going to do is just trim this top bit off. There we are. There we are. So once that's glued, which I'll do now just with some PVA, put some weights on it and leave it for the day, that's done. Isn't that cool? So I will get these done, get Rosie's done, and next time you see me in the outro, I'll be wearing mine. I'm pretty happy with that as an idea. Really easy. Well, there it is. I finished it and I'm really pleased with it. So that's my one I'll be wearing, and over here we have Angela's and Rosie's. So neither of them have seen anything about this. I've told them that there's a super secret thing going on, which they'll be receiving on Christmas Day, but I've not told them, so I've got to hide it again once I've filmed this outro. But yeah, really cool little build. Just nice to see something, have an idea, have some inspiration and get it done so quickly. And yeah, hopefully this might inspire you to do something silly for your family for Christmas, because it's all about having fun, isn't it? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, to everyone, please do stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.